warm glow of a San Diego September gives promise of good days ahead. 1974 offered a fresh start, and San Diego Stadium filled with romance and adventure. The promise of new beginnings filled the air. Good omens fell from the skies. The yearly celebration of town and team was about to begin. While the fun of a hometown carnival hadn't changed, the team had. The redecorated Chargers sported change from top to bottom. 23 new faces marked the biggest turnover in San Diego history. Tommy Prothro had chosen a long-range rebuilding program, but he needed some place to start, and for this foundation he looked to the strongest of his inherited assets. The team would be built on the broad backs of the offensive line. Offensive linemen are pro football's last great mystery, usually lumped in a nameless group. But San Diego had 5 unique men, and this would be their year. The cornerstone was tackle Russ Washington, 1973's most valuable Charger, and an aspiring actor. The team chess champion, Ira Gordon, faced the task of replacing Walt Sweeney at right guard. San Diego's strongest player, left guard Doug Wilkerson, was determined to prove himself an All-Pro. A former minor league player with the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Capitals, center Carl Mock sought identity in pro football's most anonymous position. Tying it all together was the old pro of the unit, 9-year veteran Terry Owens, a country gentleman from Jasper, Alabama. 1974 offered a unique role of leadership, a public forum to prove their worth in this, the year of the unknown soldiers. Offensive linemen dwell in pro football's twilight zone. They man the line of demarcation face to face with the enemy. These are the silent sentinels calmly awaiting a signal to begin their strange and beautiful ballet, which few fans ever see. San Diego's front 5 consisted of impressive athletes, but offensive line play is a complex mixture of individual and teamwork. One false step will lead to failure, no matter how well conceived a play may be. Pressure is part of the job, and so is pain. It hurts to take so much of the heat and get so little of the credit. The San Diego offensive line pulled together through the small hurts and developed unit coordination. He's like number 50, Don Good, got plenty of on-the-job training with the regular defense. Good showed the speed to cover running backs one-on-one, plus the search and destroy instincts of a natural-born linebacker. Another rookie linebacker with a nose for contact was Charles Anthony, number 59. Anthony had the added responsibility of playing the middle, and he had his moments. The leader of the upstart linebackers was number 57, Floyd Rice. Rice was a 4-year pro who had come in trade to nail down the outside. Joining the hitting was cornerback Sam Williams, number 47, A 12th round draft choice and yet another rookie rushed into full-time service. In fact, all the newcomers were eager to play, and they brought with them a nothing-to-lose attitude that resulted in impressive individual performances. San Diego had its moments of hellacious hitting, but while intimidation is an effective technique, it can get out of hand. Youthful belligerence can cloud reason. Experience teaches that there are certain times and places to think before you act. The Greenhorn Chargers discovered there were many painful lessons still to be learned. On the bomb squad, aggressiveness is the key. Just keep on coming until the ball is blown dead. The league's new punting rules made the job tougher. Only 2 men were allowed to leave the line of scrimmage before the ball was kicked. So those 2 had to be quick and sure, like rookie Tommy Thompson, number 38. With the new rule, Dennis Partee had to kick the ball higher than before. Coverage and hang time were important, but sometimes pure luck didn't hurt. The swirl of kick coverage is no place for the faint of heart. In fact, it helps to be a little crazy. But the building Chargers required more of their first-year men than special team aggressiveness.
In the second quarter, the Chargers retaliated with a hard-running Sid Edwards, number 37. Edwards would rush for 100 yards on the afternoon, while Dan Fouts riddled the Oilers secondary with 13 completions for yardage totaling 209 yards. Fouts capped a 7-play march, giving the final span to number 21. Glenn Bonner got the score. On the Chargers' first possession of the third quarter, Fouts directed his club in for the tie as a 29-yard touchdown pass to Gary Garrison completed a 5-play, 65-yard drive. Garrison's defender had slipped, leaving the Ghost untouched for the score. Close, and 2 plays later, George Amundsen hurled in for touchdown number 3 and a 21-14 Houston victory.
Each man did his job, and the path they cleared led straight to the end zone. Against Cincinnati, the offensive line paved the way to a last-minute upset victory. But the 2017 final was not the only surprise. Swinging out of the backfield was a rookie wearing number 33. Every eye searched the program as number 33 turned the corner for a 21-yard gain on his first pro carry. With it, he foreshadowed an incredible season. The faceless rookie was an ex-Wishbone quarterback from the University of New Mexico named Don Woods. Woods had been drafted by the Green Bay Packers, then let go for the $100 waiver fee. He came to San Diego on a trial basis, strictly a long shot. He quietly waited for the chance that might never come.
It's always tough to beat the Bengals, and even more so in Riverfront Stadium. Last season, Cincinnati was unbeaten on their home turf, en route to a divisional playoff slot. But to the Chargers on this Sunday, All that was past history, and on their very first series, number 14, Dan Fouts, directed San Diego in for the game's first score. Number 21, Glenn Bonner, gave the Chargers the early lead, while the San Diego defense helped to keep it. A Charles Anthony interception set up a second quarter field goal and a 10-0 Charger advantage. But behind the rabbit-like burst of Linville Elliott and number 26, Charlie Davis, the Bengal attack accelerated. Number 36, Linville Elliott, narrowed the Charger lead to 3 points, turning the ball back over to the poised second-year Charger quarterback Dan Fouts. Fouts maneuvered his club inside the Bengal 10, only to have a sure score fizzle off the fingertips of wide receiver Jim Burns. Trailing 13-7 in the third quarter, the Bengals sprung number 85, Isaac Curtis, free for big yardage on the reverse. The Bengals then went ahead as last year's AFC Rookie of the Year, Charles "Booby" Clark, number 42, banged in for the Bengals' first lead. With time running out in the fourth quarter, Dan Fouts found his club trailing 17-13. 98 yards separated the Chargers from victory, and it was now up to Fouts to deliver pinpoint shots to his receivers, who would be working the short routes underneath the Bengals' zone defenses. Jim Burns' third down catch pumped new life into San Diego, and 5 plays later, Fouts had the Chargers ready to win it. After 97 yards, Fouts plunged the final distance as San Diego hung on to claim a hard-fought 20-17 win over a genuine NFL powerhouse, the Cincinnati Bengals. Dan Fouts brought San Diego back to a halftime tie with a last-minute pass to number 89, 6'7" tight end Wayne Stewart. In the third period, Bob Greasy and the Dolphins found out that they were in for serious trouble for the rest of the afternoon. Before they knew what hit them, the Dolphins were behind 21-7 on 2 touchdowns by Don Woods, number 33, a rookie from New Mexico Highlands. Don Woods carried 18 times for 157 yards, and the Chargers were charging. Down by 2 touchdowns, the Dolphins' task looked even tougher when they lost Mercury Morris for the rest of the day. Covered in 2 thrusts by Larry Zonka. And then with just 15 seconds remaining, Zonka's old buddy Jim Kick scored again. And instead of a second loss, Miami had a second victory and was 1 step closer to a 3rd consecutive world championship.
Then his 21-yard gain in Cincinnati earned him a chance in the season's 3rd week against the world champion Miami Dolphins. His escort was ready and waiting, and together they regenerated the San Diego Power Suite. Don Woods played pillar to the offensive line's post. Together they tortured the Miami flanks for 157 yards. An unknown rookie had joined the unknown soldiers. They all knew that the best was yet to come.
A genuine San Diego surprise has been the running of number 33, Don Woods. The rookie free agent sifted through the Eagle defense for 133 yards, registering his second straight 100-yard-plus performance. But despite the brilliant sprints of Don Woods, the Chargers could only score once as number 14, Dan Fouts, barely avoided disaster for the touchdown. Number 27, Gary Garrison, captured the deflected pass for San Diego's lone score against the rugged Eagle defense. Number 61, Bill Dunston, collected the fumble and set sail the final 46 yards for one Eagle touchdown, while the offense managed to add another to finish with a 13-7 victory. In posting 3 victories, Philadelphia has featured an aggressive defense that scores points. But to continue winning, the offense must catch up with its defense. And should this ever happen, look out, NFC East. The first time the Raiders were close to a score, they were short-circuited by number 44, Chris Fletcher, who made a nice return before being stopped by number 25, Fred Biletnikoff, on his first consecutive tackle, perhaps ever. And then the flashy running of number 33, Don Woods, who averaged 7 yards per carry and gained 118 yards, got San Diego a field goal and a 3-point lead. Fouts returned to rookie reliable Don Woods, who was often racing to a score, until who should appear but number 26, Skip Thomas. And no one eludes the clutches of the sinister specter known as Dr. Death. But the long gainer helped, and soon Woods glided in from 7 yards out for a 10-7 Charger lead and an upset in the making. But while a wind-blown and worried John Madden shouted encouragement, the Raiders pulled it out, as they so often do, on a last quarter strike from the snake to tight end Bob Moore. And in a close one, Raiders 14, Chargers 10. Fouts got off on the right direction with a long pass to new receiver Harrison Davis, number 87, a rookie from the University of Virginia. Fouts followed with a fake and then another long throw, this time to a well-known receiver. And Gary Garrison was well-known to chief defenders as well. Although this bit of ghostly magic was ruled out of bounds, Fouts returned to the ghost for the game's first score. Rookie runners. One of them, number 33, the sensational former quarterback from New Mexico, Don Woods. Woods rushed for 154 yards and is still averaging almost 7 yards per carry for the season. This touchdown was negated by a penalty, but Woods later ran for the touchdown, which tied the game at 14-all. While Don Woods remained among the league's rushing leaders, from Lynn Dawson, another returnee from the injured list. The Chiefs won 24-14 for the first time in a month of Sundays, thanks mostly to a rookie runner called Wonderful Woody Green.
Against Cleveland, Dan Fouts teamed up with Davis for San Diego's longest play of the season. The 72-yard bomb set off an explosion of points by both teams as former San Diego State star Brian Sipe, number 17, kept Cleveland in the game. Fouts threw for 3 touchdowns in all. This one to yet another rookie, Glenn Bonner. In the season's most exciting game, the ball went back and forth like a tennis match until kicker Ray Wershing decided the issue with only 55 seconds left. In a year of flux, the 36-35 victory was one small moment of euphoria.
Yes, that is a wedding ceremony being celebrated in the stands. And it nearly overshadowed the eagerly anticipated homecoming of homegrown Browns quarterback Brian Sipe. But cool Brian was unflustered, and he unleashed a furious first quarter passing display. On 2 passes to Steve Holden, Sipe moved the Browns to an early 7-0 lead. Sipe's virtuoso passing display opened up the Chargers' defense, and tiny Greg Pruitt flew through the breach as Cleveland appeared on the verge of routing San Diego. Trailing 21-7, quarterback Dan Fouts revved up his right arm and rainbowed a touchdown to rookie phenom Don Woods. Fouts narrowed the Browns' lead to 21-19 with a rollout pitch to set back Glenn Bonner, who was covered by defensive end Mark Ilgenfritz, of all people. But when the Chargers tried a double reverse, they found double trouble in the form of the Browns' Nick Roman, number 81. Roman's recovery was converted into a Hugh McInnes touchdown on the first play of the fourth quarter, and Cleveland led 28-19. Dan Fouts passed for 333 yards on the day, and 70 quick yards came on this coast-to-coaster to rookie Harrison Davis. Davis' score cut the margin to a short-lived 28-26 as Brian Sipe rolled to his 4th touchdown in 2 weeks as Cleveland seesawed back into a 9-point lead, 35-26. It was a game of give and take, and Fouts grabbed it all with a pump-fake bomb to Don Woods. Every time Cleveland had threatened to blow the game open, San Diego had answered, and Brian Sipe's homecoming took on all the aspects of a wake. With 58 seconds remaining, Ray Wershing booted the Chargers into the lead for the first time, 36-35. Having come so far, the jubilant Chargers thought they would celebrate victory a minute early. But on the ensuing kickoff, Greg Pruitt spiked the champagne with a 61-yard return. Cleveland moved to the Charger 10, and with 22 seconds left, Sipe wanted to position the Browns for the winning field goal when he fumbled. One play turned Sipe from hero to GOAT as San Diego eked out a 1-point win, 36-35. One basic element present in both squads is the ability to deliver a blow and pack a body-twisting wallop. The Chargers' knack for hitting wasn't merely confined to the field, and you can probably get an amen to that from number 27, Woody Green. Yes, even the Kansas City sidelines were not safe from the ghoulish lusts of the San Diego secondary, leaving the Chiefs little recourse but to retaliate. But the Chiefs did put together some productive offense, like this rump by rookie Woody Green. But the big chunks of real estate came by way of number 16, Lynn Dawson, to number 83, Larry Brunson. Dawson connected with Brunson for one of the season's most exciting plays, an 84-yard touchdown explosion. But unfortunately for the Chiefs, that was the extent of their scoring, while the Chargers would score twice. One, a short blast by number 41, rookie Bo Matthews. The second Charger tally resulted as the blue and gold clicked behind the strong right arm of rookie quarterback Jesse Freitas, number 17. Freitas provided some fireworks of his own on a 71-yard scoring volley to number 27, Gary the Ghost Garrison. Both Freitas and Garrison are former San Diego State stars, and it was this touchdown spectacular which gave the Chargers the lead 14-7. Though the Chiefs fought back, they couldn't recover as Lynn Dawson was snapped down hard. The Chargers won it 14-7 over the thoroughly disgusted Lynn Dawson and his Kansas City Chiefs.
The improving Charger defense stifled Oakland the entire first half. Rookie sensation Donnie Woods, number 33, carried 27 times for 117 painful yards. When the Chargers did creep close enough for a score, Dame Fortune again gave them the back of her hand. Fate seemed to be wearing silver and black. And when Pete Banaszak breezed over to make the score 17-3 late in the third quarter, the division title seemed secure for yet another year. But with time fading, a ghost from the past reappeared. Back in the old days, when San Diego used to be competitive with the Raiders, number 27 Gary Garrison tested their pride and poise quite regularly. Now Garrison was up to his old tricks, a 57-yard catch and carry to bring San Diego back into the scrap 17-10. But with less than 3 minutes left in the game, Stabler had only to run out the clock. Incredibly, the Snake put it up for grabs instead. Linebacker Floyd Rice, number 57, did the honors as Stabler was intercepted for the first time in 142 attempts. Then number 14, Dan Fouts, went right back to a sure thing. Garrison put San Diego at the 8 with 1:56 remaining. 4 plays later, they were still at the 8 with one last chance. Fouts' last pass was dead-ended by Dr. Death himself. Skip Thomas celebrated a 17-10 Oakland victory and the clinching of a third consecutive AFC Western Division championship. Even then, it was too late when Charger quarterback Jesse Freitas rifled one to number 27 9-year veteran Gary Garrison. Only Garrison's great effort made it a long game. Then sensational running back Don Woods, number 33, hit Garrison for the first Charger score of the day. At the game's end, Woods took one in himself, but it wasn't enough as the Joe-inspired Jets won their fourth in a row, 27-14.
Chicago's season has soured Abe Gibron's normally sunny demeanor. So with nothing left to lose, the Bear lumbered into San Diego and dusted off rarely used portions of the playbook. A little vintage tight end quick kicking by Bob Parsons gave the Bears field position to get really fancy. The Chicago Bears are not famous for the flanker reverse, but number 80, Bo Rather, pulled it off in fine style. The experimenting Bears were not about to slight the belly option series, and Ken Granberry took a nifty pitch for the game's first score. On the other hand, San Diego was content to stick with bread and butter simplicity. Just hand the ball to Donnie Woods and get out of the way. Early in the game, the phenomenal rookie blasted for his 1,000th yard, marking just the 7th time in NFL history that a first-year man has reached that plateau. But for the 74 Chargers, Woods has been the complete back, as dangerous on a swing pass as he is off tackle. Woods pulled the Chargers even, but Chicago had a few more surprises in store. A passing attack, for one. Since a fast start early in the season, number 83, Charlie Wade, had gone underground. Suddenly, he was back flying high as the passing game set up a touchdown blast by number 36, Perry Williams. But everybody knows that Bobby Douglas can't pass a lick. And so, of course, number 10 went right back to the air. Number 85, Wayne Wheeler, spiked the flag as the surprising Bears pulled out every stop. But when you start fooling around with strange plays, it's hard to know when to stop. On the second half kickoff, the Bears tried one too many and were penalized 6 points. Number 61, Blenda Gay, a less than world-renowned rookie from Fayetteville State, accepted the gift on behalf of the San Diego Bomb Squatters, and then Jesse Freitas went to work. Number 17 is a rookie quarterback awash in the confusing swirl of shifting 4-3 fronts and rotating double zones, but by the fourth quarter, he had adjusted like a 10-year veteran. Freitas burned the Bears with number 87, Harrison Davis, to tie the score at 21. The next time Freitas got his hands on the ball, he didn't hesitate. 3 times in the drive, he went to Davis, yet another Charger rookie. A final 30-yard toss set up the go-ahead touchdown. With time running out, the persistent Bears kept searching through their repertoire and kept coming up empty. In the end, the Chargers dropped the ball, but managed to hold on to an exciting 28-21 victory over the misplaced Bears from Chicago, as both teams head into the season's finale with 4 wins, 9 losses, and no place to go but up.
With the ink still wet on a new 5-year contract, John Ralston hoped his Broncos would ensure their best record ever with a victory over the semi-rejuvenated San Diego Chargers. But like their coach, the Broncos seemed unable to run at full speed, with one exception. Otis Armstrong, number 24, continued his phenomenal year as he gained 142 yards to pump his league-leading rushing total to 1,407 yards. But Armstrong's running was the only bright light on an otherwise dismal day for the Broncos, as they succumbed to an inspired Charger team 17-0. Quarterbacked by Jesse Freitas, the Charger offense had little trouble moving the football. As has become the custom in San Diego, the offensive attack was led by rookie sensation Don Woods, number 33. Woods gained 105 yards against the Broncos to become the Chargers' all-time single-season rushing leader, and his 1,161 yards for the year marked the highest rushing total ever by a rookie in the National Football League. With this convincing victory, the Chargers could look back on their first season under Tommy Prothro with the satisfaction that they had performed better than expected and had wrapped up the year not with a whimper, but with a bang.
So 1975 brought the Chargers back to the drafting tables with renewed interest and 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. San Diego's intentions were crystal clear.
San Diego Chargers. San Diego Chargers first round selection is Gary Johnson, defensive tackle, Grambling.
The first pick was Gary Big Hands Johnson of Grambling College. Prothro's assessment was short and to the point. He's as quick off the ball as anyone in football, college or pro. Choice 1B was Mike Williams, an All-America defensive back from LSU. Next came huge defensive tackle Louis Kelcher of SMU, also an All-America. At 6'5" and 270 pounds, Kelcher swatted down the opposition with hands that were even bigger than Big Hands Johnson's. I sometimes have trouble putting them in my pocket, says Louis. Fred Dean played defensive line at Louisiana Tech, but with outstanding speed and agility, he has the makings of a pro linebacker. The third round brought Auburn's Mike Fuller, a safety, who was also the nation's second leading kick returner. Auburn also supplied the 4th round pick, middle linebacker Ken Burnich. The 7th player selected by San Diego also came in the large economy size, Kevin Nosbush, a 6'4", 265-pound defensive tackle from Notre Dame. In what appears to be the strongest Charger draft in recent years, the first 7 players went to the defense. Names like Johnson, Williams, Kelcher, Dean, Fuller, Burnich, and Nosbush will stir eager anticipation, especially when added to existing ingredients. But on this team, it had added significance. At quarterback, Prothro once again looked toward the future with second-year man Dan Fouts, and later in the season, rookie Jesse Freitas splitting the time. Nothing destroys a young quarterback's confidence like a leaky pass pocket. But this offensive line gave Fouts and Freitas time to open things up. Airtight protection is important at one end, but so are the hands waiting at the other. In a distinguished 9-year career, Gary Garrison had earned the respect of his peers and assumed the role of elder statesman on his team. But time has not diminished the pure skills that nicknamed him the Ghost. In 1974, Garrison gained his 7,000th yard and caught more than 40 passes for the 8th time in a brilliant career. While Garrison is a valuable link to the Chargers' past, another San Diego wide receiver offers promise of things to come. Rookie Harrison Davis, number 87, was an uncut diamond from the University of Virginia. Both quarterbacks made good use of his improving skills. Jesse Freitas hit him twice for long touchdowns in a 28-21 win over the Chicago Bears. Don Woods and his guard of honor prepared themselves for a final assault on the NFL record book. The story started with a 21-yard gain in the season's second game and ended with a $100 recruit being honored as the finest rookie rusher in NFL history. But Don Woods knew he only shared these awards, and he split them freely with Terry Owens, Doug Wilkerson, Carl Mock, Ira Gordon, and Russ Washington. 1974 was the first step back, as San Diego won 5 games, including the final 2, to keep Tommy Prothro's rebuilding plans well on schedule. The unknown soldiers had found their identity and had taken their place among the game's best. The young defense had taken strides toward joining them. And above all, a modest, quiet young man proved that all of pro football's sophistication had not taken the human element out of the game. All in all, it was a year to build a dream on.